You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who loves to watch true crime, but only if it's shoplifting, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you with me on this Tuesday night. It's a fun show. Something feels different tonight, Conrad. I don't think it's just the smell coming from the kitchen either. I think there's something really in the air.
I think it's that salad you had.
Is it the salad?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, I have never had that many vegetables in one sitting. They just packed it. Because what happened was she started making my salad and she forgot that she was making the wrong salad. So I had all these vegetables she already put in there, and then she had to finish making the salad I ordered. It was like I was like eating an entire garden.
You know, that's good.
Yeah. It's healthy.
Yeah. Get the greens.
That's right. It is great to have you here, folks. It's a Tuesday night, and in case you were not here during the first hour, oh man, did you miss some serious fun? We talked about my paper cut, which I'm muscling through. I'm not, it's a paper cut, but it was one of those foil things you peel off almonds. It could be used as a weapon. I've seen more weaponry in spy movies. This could have killed someone.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm thinking a lawsuit. I'm thinking I'm going to be retired in a year. Now, if I sue for damages, how much is a Band-Aid? Like 4 cents?
Yeah, like something around there.
Okay, but pain and suffering could net me another $1. So I'll keep you guys posted. We also talked about Nick Cannon, who has 12 kids from 6 wives and has just launched a relationship advice podcast. I think I know what the advice would be. Have unprotected sex.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's the way to go if you can swing it. All kinds of fun stuff, though. Trapper Schoepp will be here at 7:20, folks. It's an interview we did yesterday because Trapper's a busy guy. He's playing all over the state, and he's got a couple more dates coming up, so we had to squeeze him in on a Monday afternoon. So we'll air that at 7:20, so we will only be live for about 15 more minutes, so get those texts in, your favorite Robert Redford movie. And then we will close up the show live anyway at 7:20 and play my interview with Trapper Schoepp. We also play a couple of his great songs. He's got a new album out called Osborne and a great song called Loaded about prescription painkiller addiction, something he went through, a very personal song. And then he tells the story about how he collaborated with Bob Dylan for the song On Wisconsin. And we will play both of those tunes during the interview, so you won't want to miss that. Are we up to date, Con? What did I miss?
Yeah, I think we got just a couple more texts.
I'm like day 4 without gelato. Speaking of addictions.
You know, I had some today. I worked out and then had gelato. So I was like, you know what, whatever.
You've earned it. You could do that at your age. That's the great thing. Yes, we do have some more texts. We'll get to those. Let's do that now, and then let's play a clip from one of my favorite movies of all time. 715 says 3 Days of the Condor. Yeah, another one I kind of forgot about. Great movie. Robert Redford goes out to get lunch. He comes back. Everyone in the office he works at is murdered. And it's just this great kind of high-octane sort of film. Great film. John from Madison says, Sundance gave us Quentin Tarantino and many more great directors, many that Peter probably knows, which is so cool. I don't know Quentin Tarantino, John, unfortunately. I would love to. I think he's brilliant. And loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I liked most of his stuff a lot. Let's see, what else do we have here? John also says, I already read that one. Jim from Appleton says, okay, there are too many to choose ones. Here's a few. Situation hopeless, but not serious. 3 Days of the Condor, Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yes.
How do you like that?
I was waiting for someone to text that in because he made his way into the Marvel Universe and he did a great job.
I totally forgot he was in that.
He plays pretty much the bad guy in it.
Yeah. And then he also, Jim also puts The Great Waldo Pepper, which I have not seen as well. So there you go. Some great films, great suggestions and text tonight, folks. All right. I want to play this clip. This is from one of my favorite this is from one of my favorite films of all time, but probably, definitely, maybe my favorite Robert De Niro film. This is from The Sting. Paul Newman has just swindled Bernard Shaw, whose character is called Doyle Lonigan. They played poker. They roped him in. He beat him. He out-cheated Doyle Lonigan, who is this big mobster from New York, coming to Chicago on the train to clean things up because Robert Redford's character ripped off the mob. So now they're trying to con Doyle Lonigan. So Paul Newman and Robert Redford are in cahoots. Paul Newman just beat him on the train at poker, took a few grand, and Robert Redford is trying to cozy up to Doyle Lonigan. Great clip on the train. Here we go.
Your boss is quite a card player, Mr. Kelly. How does he do it?
He cheats.
Well, in that case, I'll keep my money and we'll just have another game.
You don't have any to keep. Here's your wallet. You hired a dame to take it from you. Shaw's been planning to beat your game for months. He's just been waiting for you to cheat him so he could clip you.
Who do you think you're talking to, Aaron boy? Nobody sets me up. Take him back to the baggage room. Put one in his ear.
Christ's sake, there were 4 witnesses at that table.
And go back. Get that other damn son of a... We'll dump him in the first tunnel we hit.
Doyle, we're gonna be in the station in a couple of minutes.
Ain't gonna look too good, you killing a guy you owe money to. There's better ways of taking him down. What do you think Shaw would do to me if he knew I was telling you this? Okay. Why the rat? I want to take over his operation, and I need you to help me break him. Where's my money? Shaw's got it. How the hell could I ask him for it back? We're pulling in. I'm giving you a lift home.
I'm supposed to go with Shaw.
Explain it to him somehow.
Yeah, but he's expecting
I'm
me to
giving you
go.
a lift home.
You follow? Yeah, sure.
So great. And if you haven't seen The Sting, rent it tonight or buy it. Because the scene right before that, where Paul Newman swindles Doyle Lonigan out of the money, is hilarious. It is Paul Newman at his best, just insulting this guy. It's brilliant. We have another scene too. What's the other one? Oh, From the Way We Were. I sent that one to you, correct?
Yeah, this is the one with the pie.
The pie, and then I sent 3 clips too. I sent
And Butch Cassidy.
Butch Cassidy. So we played. All confused now because we played Butch Cassidy on Todd's show. So let's play that one next, Con. This is from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. They're pinned on a mountain and surrounded, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to get out of this predicament. Robert Redford, Paul Newman.
Kid, the next time I say let's go someplace like Bolivia, let's go someplace like Bolivia.
Next time. Ready?
No, we'll jump.
Like hell we will.
No, it'll be okay. If the water's deep enough, we don't get squished to death. He'll never follow us.
How do you know?
Would you make a jump like that and you didn't have to?
I have to, and I'm not gonna.
Well, we got to, otherwise we're dead. They're just gonna have to go back down the same way they come. Come on.
Just one clear shot, that's all I want.
Come on. We got to.
Up. Get away from me.
Why?
I want to fight him.
They'll kill us.
Maybe.
You want to die?
Do you?
All right. I'll jump first.
No.
Then you jump first.
No, I said.
What's the matter with you?
I can't swim.
Why, are you crazy? The fall will probably kill you.
Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
It's worth a look. All right, and I've got one final one here. This is Robert Redford with Barbra Streisand. This is a film, I think this was his second film he did. It's called The Way We Were, and he played the same character on Broadway for Neil Simon, and now he's in the movie version with Barbara Streisand. He's in military garb, the dress, pants, and coat, and she is running across the street with groceries, and I'll just leave it at that. Kind of an iconic scene.
Hi, Bill!
Hey. I wasn't sure when you'd be home. How are you? Look, I don't know when I'll be back. Could you leave a key or...
No, you can. I got steaks and baked potatoes and sour cream and chives and salad and fresh baked pie. I would have made a pot roast. I make a terrific pot roast, but I didn't know whether you ever had pot roast or whether you like pot roast. I mean, anyway, there wasn't time because it should be made the day before. So I got steaks with all my ration stamps. And you must be hungry because, I mean, with all the hotel hunting, you couldn't have had time to eat or anything. I mean, you can't go yet. You've got to stay for supper. That's all there is to it.
What kind of pie?
Well, you cut a huge pause out of that one.
Yeah, I gotta say that sounds pretty good. Steaks, chives, potatoes, pie.
It. Absolutely.
That's a nice home cooked meal.
And there is a long pause there where he just kind of looks at her and finally, after I'm not kidding, like 5 seconds says, "What kind of pie?" It's a great scene, very iconic scene. Robert Redford, rest in peace. Let's get back to some text here before we end the live part of the show. Steady Eddie from the 608 says, Pete, happy Monday, back at ya. Does anybody really know what time it is or day it is? Does anybody really care? The Robert Redford movie I'm remembering tonight is The Natural. Took me back to a fantasy time that never really existed in America, but I wish we could go back there again. Steady Eddie. P.S. The egg came first. That is in reference to chicken or the egg photography. Thank you, Steady Eddie, for getting our sponsor's name in there again. Steady Eddie says, I had a paper cut the other day. Don't worry. The doctor says I'll be okay. We'll both get through this, Steady Eddie. We got a partner in crime. Tom from New Berlin says, great show, great listeners. That's the energy tonight. Robert legacy he would love. Well said, Tom. Thank you, buddy. Always great to have you listening. Did we cover everything? We got all our clips. Look at this. We got Trapper Shep coming up in a couple minutes. Yeah. We have a lot of, all week is just great guests, but tomorrow night specifically, I'm very excited. My pal Greg Schwem will be here. He is a syndicated columnist for Tribune Media Services. He's going to tell us about a really cool comedy event coming up, and we'll discuss some of his articles. And then Appleton native son and actor Mike McGill will be here at 6:35. Mike has great credits. He's a very successful working actor. He's been on Shameless and the show Bosch, and he sent me a clip last night of a movie, a short film, I think it is, called Penny. I haven't watched it yet. I got to watch it tonight. But he's in it with our pal Lance Barballs. Barballs is in that one.
Pete Schwaba.
Is that weird that two adults add balls to each other's last name? Lance started it. That's just his thing.
You know, I feel like once you get that nickname and it sticks, you never change it.
You can't get rid of it. So maybe Mike has a similar experience, or he and Lance call each other by genitalia names. I don't know. But Mike will be here tomorrow. Very excited to meet Mike on the air. And we'll be back to do it all again. What else am I missing? Check out Chicken and the Egg Photography, folks. Chris does a great job. He specializes in food, event music, and product photography for businesses across Wisconsin and the Midwest. See what he can do for you at chickenortheeggphotography.com. I'll be back tomorrow night, folks. I'd like to thank Susan Kearns and thank Trapper Shep for coming up in just a minute here. Thank you for all your texts and calls. Rest in peace, Robert Redford. And on behalf of the lovable producer Conrad, I'm Pete Schwaba. We'll be back.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Hey, this is John Legend, and you're listening to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba.
Gonna be some sweet sounds coming down.
Welcome back. We are barreling through a Tuesday night here at Nite Lite, folks, broadcasting live statewide from beautiful downtown Green Bay. Great to have you with me. And, you know, we've had so many great musical guests on this show before. And this one in particular, my next guest, is someone I've been looking forward to having on the show for quite some time. He is very well known here in Wisconsin and respected nationally as well. And he has collaborated with Bob Dylan, among many others. And he's got a new album out called Osborne, and it's great. It is my pleasure to welcome to Nite Lite, Trapper Schoepp. Hey, buddy.
Hey, brother. How you doing?
Doing really well. I'm glad we finally lined this up because I've been very eager to have you on the show. So I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, it's on.com. Thank you for having me.
All right. Very cool. Our pleasure. What are you? I know you just finished a bunch of dates, and I know you have a couple album release parties coming up. Are you just having downtime right now, or just kind of writing, or what's your life like at the moment?
I'm looking at some sunflowers in the back of my yard. They're about to bloom, and hanging with my dog, Leroy, and getting ready for some release shows. One in Minneapolis on September 19th. Milwaukee is September 27th, and Madison September 26th, and going to Europe in the fall as well. So, yeah.
So it's a perfect time to literally stop and smell the flowers right now before things get a little more crazy. So that's
indeed
outstanding. Well, let's start with your new album, Osborne. It was just released a couple months ago. I love the story behind the album and where you were at the time and where you got the idea for the title. Can you give us a little background?
Yes, I was in a rehab facility in Minnesota, and I was in the Osborne unit. And lo and behold, Ozzy Osbourne had attended that same rehab facility. Now, the name Osborne, it's one letter off from his surname. But the patient sort of appropriated it to be kind of the heavy metal Ozzy unit, if you will. So I wrote some songs when I was in there, kind of reflecting on the raw state I was in at the moment. And it's kind of crazy, like going back and revisiting some of that now. But yeah, some of the songs were born out of the Osborne unit. Yeah.
That's so cool. Did you feel, I'm sure as a performer, as an artist, did you kind of feel his presence? Or I think you said Eric Clapton stayed there, or one of his guitars was there. Did you feel inspired at all, or feel sort of their presence?
I suppose, yeah. I mean, it was not my intent to go there and work on music, right? But they did encourage journaling and writing, and so I guess it was kind of a way to channel some of what I was going through at the moment. Yeah.
Very cool. You're kind of I hate to pigeonhole you, Trapper, because you seem to mix genres, but did you ever and Ozzy Osbourne's a legend. Did you ever go down that path of hard rock?
Well, on the album, there's a couple tunes that are harder, I suppose. There's a song called Satan is Real, Satan is a Sackler, inspired by the Sackler family, who kind of were big pushers of painkillers. But so yeah, there is some hard rock on the album for sure. But yeah, I've been a bit of a musical chameleon, and I don't know. It's not always easy to pin me down musically, which can work for me and against me in certain ways, but it's been kind of fun to hop around,
Yeah, for sure. All right, so when we have a few more minutes here, we're going to do a break, and then we're going to play a song off the new album Osborne, and it's a great song. Can you, in fact, if you don't mind elaborating a little bit on that, Trapper, the song we're going to hear in a couple minutes is called Loaded, and it's a great song. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind that, even though you kind of just alluded to it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think in my 20s, I struggled a bit as a result of having spinal surgery. I got, pretty dependent or addicted, as they say, on these meds. It wasn't your classic addiction like you might hear about in the news. Nothing sexy. It was treating chronic pain,
right?
And from spinal surgery. But yeah, I kind of just looked at these medicines and the pill bottles, and I kind of joked in my head that they were like kind of loaded guns in a way. And I kind of thought of the prescriptions that way much later. But yeah, so the song Loaded is inspired by that. And then the music video features a friend of the program, as I have learned, Mark Borchardt. He is like the evil prescribing doctor. So check out the music video for that. We filmed it in a break room, they call it in Milwaukee, like where you go and you break a bunch of stuff. It's cathartic or whatever, you know.
Oh, cool.
So.
All right. Trapper Schoepp is here, ladies and gentlemen. He is a Wisconsin-based singer-songwriter, more specifically Milwaukee, and he has done some really cool stuff. I finally got him on the show, and I'm thrilled. And we were talking about Mark Borchardt, a mutual friend of ours. Mark shares every post we do from Nite Lite. So, Trapper, I don't know what you did to get him in this movie, but I actually cast him in a movie. He shares posts, but he's like, you know what, Pete? I just don't want to come on the air. And I totally respect that. He is a great guy. And we are going to play Trapper's song Loaded when we come back from a break. And if you want, Google the video and check out Mark Borchardt and his great work in the video, too. We are coming right back. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Someone's living for their love. Someone's living for their love. And I love her. I love her. Out in a barroom night, enter Betty Valentine from the upper hall. She sees a bartender in a pool of blood, cries out, my God, they've killed them all.
Welcome back.
I'm
I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. Great to have you with me on this Tuesday night. That is a song, Hurricane, by Bob Dylan, that we'll talk about with our current guest in just a few minutes. He is Trapper Schoepp, a Wisconsin-based singer-songwriter, and we are proud to call him a Wisconsinite. We were talking about your song, Loaded, Trapper, and you mentioned you got Mark Borchardt in the video, and I was saying that I would love to have him on the show. He's a good friend, but he just doesn't want to do it. What did you have to do to get him out of retirement when it comes to being on camera?
Oh, I don't know. Mark's a neighbor and a pal.
Oh, nice.
So it wasn't too much of a stretch.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. But he's a great personality and great source of inspiration and energy in the community. And I don't know, I think he's drawn to projects that interest him, and he's just a great guy. So
could not agree more. All right. Well, without further ado, let's hear, this is off the album Osborne, Trapper Schoepp's latest work, and it's called Loaded, and it is a great song.
Do you make any money? You know I heard your song on like a tambourine where I once hid. Ought to be a crime, the whole world should know your face on a true crime reality show. But you ain't give me nothing. You ain't give me nothing but a loaded gun. You ain't give me nothing. You ain't give me nothing but a loaded gun. You ain't give me nothing. You ain't give me nothing but a loaded gun. You ain't give me nothing. You ain't give me nothing but a loaded gun.
That was Loaded, a great song by my current guest, Mr. Trapper Schoepp, a Milwaukee-based singer-songwriter who has collaborated with some great people and put out really excellent material. Trapper, do you have a song when you tour or when you play live that people want to hear the most or request the most?
Oh, I wish I had a big hit like that, man. No, there are certain tunes though from back in the day, and on Wisconsin, you mentioned that people like to hear that in Wisconsin, I suppose.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask the people.
Well, we will get Conrad, take a memo. Let's get on that and find out what people's favorite song is of Trapper's. Trapper, you mentioned On Wisconsin, a great song. And I don't know that, I'm sure most of the people know the story behind this and how you kind of found this song and finished it. But it was a song written by Bob Dylan, but not quite finished, like 50 years ago. And it's called On Wisconsin. You finished it. Can you tell us a little bit about that process, how you found the song and what made you want to finish it?
Indeed. Well, you know, Bob Dylan is one of my childhood heroes, for one. He sort of invented what I do, in a sense. He's one of the greats, no doubt.
Yeah.
And in 1960, on the day he was recording his first album, he wrote a song just called Wisconsin. And it was like 4 verses. And it did not make the cut on that first album. And 57 years later, I was scrolling through the internet, and his old roommate had posted just this sheet of lyrics as like a relic, you know, a novelty item for auction, $30,000. And I thought, well, it's sort of in the tradition of folk music to sort of pick up where one generation has left off. So I took it upon myself, without his permission, to finish the song. So I set it to music. We added a chorus. My band did a great job pulling it all together. And then we put it out there on the internet, and eventually Rolling Stone took notice, and Billboard took notice. You eventually took notice, and Bob Dylan's lawyers took notice too. And it was good, though. They said, how would you feel about, you know, publishing this song with Bob Dylan for the very first time? And I said, I feel really good about that. So, yeah, that was kind of how it happened. That's the Spark Notes version, of course.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was cool. It was a trip. And to kind of share a co-writing credit with a songwriting giant like that it's pretty cool.
It's incredible. And did you see Blowing in the Wind?
Or the movie?
The movie, yeah.
What was it called? The new movie, A Complete Unknown, you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry, A Complete Unknown, yeah.
Yeah. I think the kid did a good job.
Yeah.
A tall order.
Absolutely. I want to ask you, I mentioned sometimes how you do, you know, you write stuff that could fall into different genres. For someone like you, who is truly, you know, not pigeonholed into one genre or one type of music, is it harder to find a producer who has a grasp of what you're looking for? Or is it easier because of kind of the uniqueness of your material?
Well, I think it's easier to find a producer. It's harder to find an audience for it, right? Because when things aren't like easily understood in this world that likes categories, it can be challenging to kind of, you know, find where it's going to be heard. But, you know, I just got off a call with a music supervisor type who places things in TV and film, and I just did like a whole album of like pop songs, right?
Right.
And for kind of more TV and film and commercial work. And that's so specific, right? But I think my albums tend to go where they want to go.
Right.
And there's good and bad in that, I suppose. But yeah, I think like it's maybe easier for a country artist because it's like, hey, I'm country.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, I'm trapper. I'm not sure what I you know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
Pros and cons, I guess.
My guest is Trapper Schoepp. He is a Milwaukee-based singer-songwriter who has collaborated with Bob Dylan, and we are going to hear that song in just a minute. So we've got about a minute, and we'll get this song going, Trapper, and I think we'll let it just take us to the break, and we'll come back and wrap things up afterwards. But aside from Bob Dylan, you've got so many great influences. Who else do you like to work with?
Who do I like to work with? Well, the latest producer is a fellow named Mike Viola, who's really this power pop gem of a producer, and he wrote and sang that song, "That Thing You Do," most famously. But his albums are really cool in his own right, and he's kind of a shapeshifter, songwriter guy as well. So yeah, he's great to work with. We worked with Pat from the band Wilco on an album I did at Johnny Cash's cabin, which is a whole other story.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so yeah, I've been fortunate, I guess.
Well, this is great.
Able to connect with people.
Yeah, we're gonna play the song "On Wisconsin." This is the song that Trapper finished for Bob Dylan. He was like the lefty out of the bullpen, and it's a great song. We'll take this to the break. We'll come back and wrap things up with our pal Trapper Schoepp. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Yeah, Wisconsin is a dairy state, guess you all know it well. I was in Wauwatosa, the truth I will tell. It's a milk and cheese and cream, yes, I've known it all my days. And I'm going back to my hometown, I'm leaving right away. I'm headed to Wisconsin, 2,000 miles to go. Madison, Milwaukee, sets my heart aglow. I'm a-coming to that state and my heart's beating fast. And I'll jerk my banjo gently, twiddle my mustache on Wisconsin, on Wisconsin. Wisconsin, on Wisconsin, I think I'm going to stay. Those thoughts I left there long ago, ones are coming now, it seems. I'll tune my banjo in the hills and feast on milk and cream. And I'll stamp my foot through the grass, and I'll never know or care. Yes, my home's in Wauwatosa, and I'm going there on Wisconsin, on Wisconsin, calling me that way, on Wisconsin, on Wisconsin. I think I'm going to stay. city ways are driving me insane to drink. My home's in Wisconsin. It's a better place, I think. I have been in California.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. You've got the Civic Media Radio Network for a few more minutes here on this Tuesday edition of Nite Lite. My guest is Trapper Schoepp, Milwaukee-based singer-songwriter. And what you just heard before the break was the song On Wisconsin that he collaborated with Bob Dylan, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Bob Dylan, not the guy named Bob Dylan from Wausau. This is the actual Bob Dylan. Great song, Trapper. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you. I mean, I'd be curious to know what Bob Dylan from Wausau has up his sleeve as well.
He is no slouch, I'll tell you that. You might just look at his lyrics. That's all I'm saying. So this is fun. You've got, I did some research on you. I read this article that said you hurt yourself in a biking accident. And that's when you started playing guitar. And I love the moment when I talk to artists that they can look back on and say that's when it all started. Is that when it all started for you, was when you got that first guitar? And if not, when was that moment for you where you were like, I'm doing this?
Yeah, I think it was probably, I herniated a disc in my back. My mom said, here, you should maybe try this. It could be safer than hurling yourself off giant dirt jumps and breaking your back. So yeah, I would say that was the defining moment. And, you know, I was listening to or watching a movie in my basement, and the song Hurricane by Bob Dylan came on that you played earlier, and there was that like A minor chord, and it just was like boom. You know, the man, Bob, telling that story with such conviction, and his voice wasn't perfect. And I thought, wow, maybe I could sing a song too. I don't, you know, my voice doesn't have to be dialed. So yeah, I think definitely hearing his music at a young age had a big impact on me.
Wow, that's great. And you're very similar to him too. I mean, I'm not a music expert or anything, but you seem to take chances with lyrics. You use humor too in your songs. Does that just, when you're writing a song, is that just the way things kind of transpire, or do you set out to say, this song, I have a funny idea, I want to put this in a song? How does it work for you?
Yeah, I think in, you know, you need a balance in your music, the darkness and the light.
Sure.
And yeah, I think humor is always a good solution when you're stuck in maybe a darker subject in a song. You want to lighten things up, even if people don't pick up on it. You know, you pick up on it as the guy who's got to sing it. So
sure. I noticed I love your song Wildfire too. That was one of the songs I found online. And you said you were influenced a little bit by Bruce Springsteen. Is he kind of, where do you put him in terms of legendary songwriters?
Well, he's the boss, right?
All right.
I guess he's the boss. I love what Jon Stewart, I think, said about, you know, Bob Dylan at least, or Bruce Springsteen. It was like if Bob Dylan and James Brown had a love child, it would come out as a Bruce Springsteen. No, I just love Bruce's lyrics, and I think he has a great spirit about him. You know, he's been through so much, and he's had so many different chapters, and he's really honest and vulnerable with his lyrics, and him, just the way he carries himself. So, yeah, I think there's a lot to aspire to with the boss.
Indeed. Just curious, but have you ever heard his Devils and Dust album?
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Me too.
That's a beautiful one.
It's like right up there with Nebraska as far as I'm concerned. The lyrics are absolutely incredible. My guest is Trapper Schoepp. You can see him at the Burr Oak in Madison, September 26th for an album release party, or September 27th in Milwaukee at Vivarium. I hope I'm saying that right. Before we let you go, Trapper, we got about a minute or two left. I talk about movies and TV a lot on this show, as well as comedy and music. Are you watching anything, binge watching anything that you could recommend?
Big time. I'm on my first try through the X-Files right now.
Oh, wow.
With Mulder and Scully at the wheel.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't need to recommend that to anyone, but I love it. I think it's super funny, and Mulder is this, like, wild man detective, always pushing the envelope, and he's always, against the system, against the man. He's looking for the truth.
Right.
And that's harder to find these days, the truth.
Indeed.
So yeah, I dig it. He's cool.
That's a great show. I love the first few seasons, then it seemed to kind of taper off. But boy, it was just great. It was so creepy, and same. I love David Duchovny.
Well, don't tell me it gets worse. I want it to get better. I believe it will, as they find the truth.
Oh man, I thought that was about as unspoiler alerty as I could be, but I apologize if you find yourself getting bored watching the X-Files. You won't for a very long time. It's a great show. Trapper, thank you so much for your time and sharing your music with us. I hope we could do this again sometime. I'm a huge fan.
The truth is out there. Trust no one.
And it's in Trapper Schoepp's music, so check it out. And check him out in Madison or Milwaukee on September 26th and 27th. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. Conrad, we finally made that happen. We've been trying to get Trapper on,
Yes.
not like harassing him or anything, but I know Terry Barr introduced us to him, and his music is fantastic.
Fun interview.
Very fun guy. And incredibly talented, obviously. All right, this is we got a great show tomorrow night too, folks. I hope you come back and visit us tomorrow night, where we will have actor Mike McGill from Bosch and Shameless, and comedian and syndicated columnist Greg Schwem will be here. My thanks to Trapper Schoepp and to you, the listener, for all your texts and calls. It's been a fun night here on Nite Lite. On behalf of the lovable producer Conrad, I'm Pete Schwaba saying good night, Wisconsin.
Moving around mysteriously. I didn't do what he says, and he throws up his hands. I was only robbing the register. I hope you understand. I saw him leave, and he says, and he stops. One of us had better call up the cops. And so Patty calls the cops, and they arrive on the scene with their red lights flashing in a hot New Jersey night.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.